Yeah.
Dang, we just started. This is the first bit of craziness. Yesterday was a calm day as far as like traveling and stuff.
It was a calm con day.
Hey.
That's where I get my dad jokes from.
Me?
Yeah, she allows it.
I have amazing dad jokes. I don't want to shine them on you. Well, yeah, that's true. They're more grandpa-y. All right. You shouldn't let us go because
Right?
we will go.
Yeah, we will keep going.
We have a hard time. So.
Yeah, we don't concentrate well.
So, in the first couple seasons, you guys your characters were kind of working on understanding who they were. Now this season, and particularly for you, how's it feel like playing two different versions of yourself? Sometimes in the same episode. I think it was episode 6, where you start off, we're all thinking it's 2, and it turns out it's going to be Portia, and you're kind of having to switch back and forth between two different versions of yourself, kind of the old version and the new version. How's that? How challenging is that, and how much fun is it to play that?
Yeah, I have a blast playing Portia. I think that Portia's journey is a lot more clear to me than, say, Rebecca's from season 1, and we haven't really seen her again. But Portia, despite surface appearances with regards to her kind of sensual nature, I think that that's more bred from a woman who escaped a medical facility where she was being tortured and literally had nothing, and she relied on the only tools that she had at the time, which was essentially her body. And so she, took advantage of people and got to the point where she was taking over an entire mercenary ship and beheading whoever was at the head of that ship. So I think that Rebecca's a lot of fun to play, but she's dark, and I would love to have an opportunity to explore some of her, not her backstory, but that through line between how she got out of the facility to who she was, because I think that's probably dark and a little bit scary, despite her casual and sensual nature that we see now after she's established. But it's a blast. I have so much fun playing her, and I hope we get to do more of it, because I think the fans really respond to these dual nature characters that we get to see.
I think that's Melissa's saying we need a prequel to Dark Matter and how we got to the Rasa.
Yeah, prequel, but like later.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
have a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
This season, you're kind of off on your own. You're separated from the crew, and you've only been in a few scenes with all of them. What's it like being in almost an entirely new set, and how's the season different?
It's funny, one of the questions that I had to answer was like, what was my favorite part of this filming this season? And my only answer to that is being around the cast and the crew that I know and love so much, because I hardly saw them. The amount that you've seen me on TV with them is the amount that I've seen them in person, and it was the toughest thing because I love them. They've become family to me. And as far as the new set is awesome. And being in that castle it makes it easy being an emperor, you know what I mean? You don't have to imagine anything. Everything is fed to you. Everything is just given right there, and you kind of just are able to live that life honestly and hopefully. But it was one of the hardest parts was being away from the family that I know.
Well, you do the Emperor very well.
Thank you.
Right away.
Thank you. Yeah, no, there was a little discussion between, like, after the first few episodes were filmed, they were telling me, hey, look, I think the fans are just, like, they're going to hate you. We don't want them to hate you. We want them, yeah. But I was like,
you're such a smiley emperor, though. You're such a smiley, stern emperor.
But that's where, like, the seething of the hate happens, and but I wanted the fans to hate Rio, right? And that's where, I really wanted to lead them to, and I hope I'm doing a good job, and I hope people hate Rio.
Everybody I've talked to misses Forbes so much.
Good. Good.
And I'm one of them. I love Forbes.
I know, yeah, and he was certainly fun to play because he did a lot more ass kicking, whereas Rio, he just does a lot more finger pointing, and he's totally lost. And it's funny because he has his memory, so you'd think he'd have more confidence in his decisions and his abilities, but ironically, he doesn't know what to do with himself and his people. So
The nature of television inherently, the writers are way ahead of you. You guys don't actually know what's coming up. And especially with this show, you really didn't know who you were playing when you first started, especially with your characters, synthetic, like crazy twist. Have you altered your performances at all as more revelations about who you are come out? Or how did you approach sort of creating something that had open possibilities so you weren't contradicting yourself when new information came out?
You're asking it like I remember in the first season when we got the original first scripts, and I had a very strong instinct that something was off with 2. I remember I was working with who ended up becoming my stunt double, actually. Her name's Anita. And we're training, we're just working out, and we're like working on some moves, and I was like, I think I'm an android. And she goes, what? And I was like, I think I'm an android. And she thought I was talking about myself. And I was like, no. The 2 is an android. And they are so, I think the neat thing about Joe and Paul is that they're very committed to, they're very method in the sense that they don't want us pretending like we don't know. They want us to not know. And if it's something that needs to be layered in, I think that there's a level of trust that is involved in dark matter, especially because we need to understand that the writers and the showrunners will give us the information if we need it, you know? So yeah, there's lots of post-layering in for us to post-rationalize stuff, but for the most part, it's a trust-based exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been working. No, I'm right there with you, because I didn't know what 4 was going to be like. I just knew he was quiet, he would kick ass, and he would just be like, you know, the sniper of the crew. But then when they started layering in those family issues and the whole, hey, you actually have to go back and fight this war for your clan and your empire and your lineage, it really changed my approach to how he needed to be, because and especially with the memory factoring in, it was different. 4 is more cautious and he doesn't trust anyone, whereas Rio, he's just, right now he's a hothead and I can't deal with Rio right now. But yeah, like Mendoza was saying, it's a real practice of trust.
With all the changes and the changes in characters and that kind of thing, have you had any strong fan reactions? I'm guessing.
Yeah. Sorry. I just thought of something awesome. The internet is a really odd place, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that it's not nice, some of the stuff that we get on the internet, even when people think they're sending nice stuff. It's actually really icky. But yes, I try in my brain to think, well, I guess this is a compliment because, she's being sexy, so I guess you're going to get that reaction. But yeah, the fans do react in many different ways. I don't know why it came up into my head. You're just like, there's probably strong online reactions. I was like, yeah. There are very strong online reactions.
Yeah.
But,
And they're heard.
But no, it's incredible. And I think the really neat thing is that our fans are very interactive with us, and we are with them too. And so there's a bit of a community online because it's as fun for us as it is for them, And it's so funny because people are just like, they'll say thank you, and they're so appreciative of us live tweeting or just tweeting people back. And half of the time, we're just sitting on our phones, and then we look and we're like, somebody added me, And yeah, it's amazing. Our fans are so smart, and they're a blast to chat with. Like they ask questions about the show because they're interested in the content, and it pushes us to question ourselves and our characters. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Do you get some funny things on there?
No. I mean, I get a lot of hate right now.
Do you really?
I do.
Active
there's
hate?
Active hate of.
Is it sincere? They're like, I hate you.
Oh no!
Okay.
It's never like that. They just hate Rio really so much, and I don't blame them because I set it up that way. But the interacting with the fans, I think that's where our industry needs to go, and I think that's how the artists need to be. We need to interact, and that's just how the world is moving. And it's not enough to be on TV, to be in movies, and expect people to come and care. It makes our job easier, and it makes our job better when we're able to interact with the fans and to care about them, because when we go in at 4 a.m. for makeup and are there until 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at night, we have that drive of the fans, of knowing that we care about them, because we know who they are. We see the different handles and the usernames, and we recognize them, and they're part of the motivation. So,
they really are, and they are for Alex specifically. Like I think that's very true. You have a lot of personal accountability to them, and I know that that's something that you're like, I'm working really hard on this for you guys, and that I think that's a really neat thing about Alex. He's always keeping in his mind the fans that are big fans of the show, and also of him, and making sure that he's doing the best he can do for them, because he knows that that's why they're doing it. I think that's no, it's true though. It's true though. Props where props are due, and it's true.
Yeah, no, it's driven from gratitude of you're giving me your time of the day, and time is a commodity we can't get back, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that you're giving my friends and I an hour of your day that you're not going to get back. And so I'm going to put all that I can in the dream that I love my job. So here I am. I will put in the 12, 16 hours a day happily and interact with the fans, because I am so grateful to be able to do what I do, and for you all to support me, even if it's just an hour of the day. I love talking to fans. It's so necessary.
So no spoilers going for the rest of the season. We're halfway through.
Yeah.
But so up to this point, what was the biggest? Sometimes I know I talked to you guys last year about it. Sometimes you're just as shocked as the fans are. Some twist. So what up to this point in season 3? What was the biggest shock you had for your characters, or any other character on the show that you didn't see coming that really hit you?
Oh man, there's been quite a few WTF moments. I think that the first when Six decided to stay on the planet, that was a really big shocker, and like having a proper goodbye, like with the whole crew there, that was a big shocker. And also, I was so happy to have an opportunity to say goodbye to Mel, who played Nyx.
Yeah.
Like, when they killed her at the end of season 2, I actually made a proper stink about it. I was like, you can't keep killing people and not letting me say goodbye to them.
Yeah.
Like my character, but also like me. So I was really thrilled to have that moment, and I thought that Mel was so beautiful in that scene, and it was I think it was very well done. You know, it was elegant and beautiful, and the scene with 2 and 6 speaking to each other back to back through the wall,
So awesome.
It wasn't like a shocker, but it was shocking in I could see it on the page, the composition of the scene, and I remember thinking that it was beautiful. Yeah.
For me, it's Sarah's presence.
Oh yeah.
The amount of presence Sarah has in 3's storyline, I didn't think that they were going to build an entire world around her. Yeah, not an arc and an entire world physically, and it's. I'm so curious to know where that ends up going. Because she keeps building. She's like,
we
full
kind of
on.
know where it's going, and it's cool.
Kind of know, but we have no idea where, for sure where it's going. Right now, she's like Minecrafting everything, building.
She is Minecraft.
Yeah, totally Minecrafting it.
The Canadian television landscape can be very different from the American one. How do you feel that the show filming in Toronto and having that Canadian identity influences the show and even the reaction to it and its place in television?
Well, my only thing is, I'm tired of forests.
Try what?
I'm tired of being in the forest. I'm tired of being in the forest, and I'm tired of...
I thought you were tired of being 4. Tired of being
no,
forest.
I love 4, but I'm tired of the forests, and I don't want to be in winter anymore. Can we just, one season in LA would be nice for me.
I love how you're playing as if you're the one that's shooting outside. I'm pretty sure that's usually me, Roger, and Anthony. When do you shoot outside in the winter?
There were the first 2 seasons where I had a few things, and then now it's I have a fireplace, but
okay, just
he had to live.
Oh god. Yeah, see?
No, but
thank you. The compassion and the empathy is so necessary.
Okay, the cool thing about working in Canada,
Yes.
I think, when you said the question, the first thing that sticks out to me is that our crews are undeniably like top notch, and they set the tone. A lot of people think that the actors, like the people on the call sheet, they're the ones that set the tone for the show, but it's not. It's our crew guys, and like they are a family. They work on every single thing together, and they set this incredible tone on set that is not only conducive to creativity and collaboration, but they're just good at their gig. They're so good at their gig, and they're generous with their knowledge, and like working also becomes a learning experience. So yeah, our crews in Canada are top notch, and there's a reason why people are always trying to shoot in Canada.
Yep.
It's because of them. Yeah. Well, we're done.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
All right,
thank you so much.
Like a little pet squirrel or something. So if you slouch a bit and I sit up straight, it'll be really hard for them to frame. It's perfect.
Really hard to be tall.
Hi.
Is that a problem on set too? Where you're in
Not really, because I'm supposed to be small.
supposed to be 16.
They usually put pads. I usually sit on a pad.
Oh, really? Do you ever stand on like a box or anything?
Yeah.
That's the famous Tom
Yeah, I
Cruise thing.
do.
It does happen, yeah. It happens. It usually only in close-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what most people actually, most of us, well, most of the girls on our show, all the girls on our show, except Solara, wear heels.
Five only does sometimes, though.
Only sometimes. Oops, sorry. I'll stop playing right in front of that microphone. Annie, can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Great interview. All right.
I have a super important question about Five. And my friend sent me here specifically to ask you this. Are we going to see Five in the vents at all this season? She hasn't been yet.
I don't want to disappoint you, but I haven't been in the vent.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Have you seen episode 8? That's the one that's airing this Friday.
What? Is I in the vents again?
Vents feature prominently in episode 8.
I actually can't. I didn't get to watch the finished one of that yet. Now I can't. I don't remember being in vents.
There's like...
I feel so. This is like the most important question, and I can't remember.
There's just one woman in St. Louis.
Tell her to watch. Tell this woman in St. Louis to watch tomorrow night. And you're right in that we're not situated in the vents, but the vents feature prominently, and you use the vents.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess just watch this episode and see.
Now I'm excited. I'm excited already. So.
And we're done. The vents question's over, so we're done.
Only question I have.
That's all. That's all that matters. Vent crawler.
So,
Yeah, that's how you access. I just watched it. That's how I know. I totally would not.
That's
have
not fair. He's just watched
I just
it.
watched it. I watched it last night before going to bed.
So, you know, with everything that's going on, we're like halfway through season 3, and I don't want you guys to spoil going into the rest of the season yet. But we're up to this point to, I guess, episode 7, so we won't even do episode 8 because you haven't seen it yet. What do you think is the biggest twist you guys have had for either your character or other characters on the show? 'Cause there's been a lot, but what do you think has been the one that's really, really hit you kind of hard?
Ooh, you're looking at me. I guess he wants me to answer first. Let's see.
I have an answer, but
For season 3 or for
You go with season 3.
For season 3, I think, well, the whole show really. I mean, finding out that Five has a sister was the biggest thing for me. Just like that's huge. She has a sibling. You don't know anything about her, and then to find out that she has family out there. I mean, you know, she considers the Raza crew her family, but she has an actual blood relative, and I hope she finds her. Do you have one?
I do. Sarah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah's been. I mean, that's my character storyline really for season 3, and yeah, finding out that she exists in a computer. And I don't know. That's weird. I mean, it's especially for my character, it's the perfect character for whom that would be complicated in the sense that I have a conflicted relationship with technology and with robots and the whole 9 yards. And oh look, there's this personality. There's this individual that I love. It's just weird. Imagine that, you know, like imagine dating someone inside a computer. That's really weird. But there it is.
Not in the future.
Not in the future. It's not. Yeah.
What have been some of the challenges of playing characters you know nothing about?
In a way, I kind of found it easier in the beginning because we weren't supposed to know anything, and we really didn't. So it kind of made it a little bit easier. Often you have so much information, then to pretend that you don't know that can be tricky. And then I mean, it's kind of changed over time. Now I would like to have more information, but in the beginning it actually made it a lot easier.
Yeah, in a way it does. I mean, part of you as an actor is always saying, "Oh, listen, I need to make this an interesting scene." And generally speaking, the way you do that is with backstory.
We just had a blank
But we had no backstory,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
normally you would do that by creating moments that aren't there on the page between characters that aren't central to the actual action, because they have the interesting beats. But there's 5 of you in the scene, you're trying to make something interesting, but in the beginning you and I could never share a look of, oh, whatever, we know what this means, because we didn't know each other. We had no backstory. We'd never had any previous scenes. So that was actually pretty challenging to sort of sit there and go, okay, I don't know what she's thinking right now, and I don't know what I'm thinking, other than I don't know what I'm thinking. And it leads to I think, television that can challenge the audience to stick with us, and it did in the beginning. The audience, we saw the comments in the first year where they're kind of like, there's a little bit cardboard cutout there, because there is no backstory.
Yeah.
And we don't even know our motives in the scenes, really, beyond like, who are you and who am I? And then that has opened up as we've learned our backstories.
Yeah.
You get the scripts as you go along. This last episode that aired, Android walked in, pointed a gun at Bree, and then walked out. It was the creepiest moment on TV, so congratulations for that. But did you have a theory of working on that? Did you have a theory as you went along, or was?
Yeah, my theory was that I'd been too much of a pain in the ass on set, and that I'd changed too many of Joe's lines. And oh, look at that! Oh, I'm dead. All right, honey, cancel that new car order. I didn't have a theory. That was a big cliffhanger. I mean, obviously, I knew the contract I had signed, so I knew that I probably wasn't going to be dead unless they wanted to pay me to not be on a bunch of episodes. It's not really what they do. So I knew that I was going to be okay, but I didn't actually have a theory as to. And then when it came out, I was like, oh, that's what it is. Because I had forgotten. I didn't have the benefit. Like when you watch episode 8 tomorrow night, they do the previously on Dark Matter, and they remind you of all the important things you're supposed to remember, but I didn't have that when you're reading the script. So you're like, what?
It's much easier. If you binge a show,
It's so much easier, yeah.
Well, when you film it over 5 months, it's a lot different than watching it in a weekend. There's so much information. It's also spread out.
Yeah, and it's funny because you figure after having shot the whole season that you really understand the show.
No.
And it's not the case. Because you're shooting it totally out of order. You're getting scripts while you're shooting another one.
It's so confusing.
It's not until I watch it along with fans that I go, oh, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
What has the fan reaction been to online severe differences?
In general, really great. That's why I love coming to conventions so much, because we get to meet fans and actually talk to them in person. We also try and do live tweeting and talk to them on social media. I think specifically for my character, the best thing has been seeing people cosplay 5, because I love to cosplay myself, and then to be at a convention, somebody walks up to the table and they're dressed as 5, I think it makes me so happy. I love it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think if we'd gone to a con halfway through the first season, everyone would have like thrown tomatoes at my head. People did not like my character at all.
It's true. It's true.
Probably wish that like I was not on the show. But eventually, my character, grew a bit of a heart, and I think it's this season really where my character ends up being a lot more likable, and you'll see him grow into a more morally centered character over the seasons, I suspect. Although I don't know what season 4 or 5 would hold, but that certainly seems the way that they're going with the whole Sarah storyline and learning about my background. But the audience reaction's been great. I mean, I love chatting with the folks, and because I love the show. I love the world we've created, and the truth is the audience is sort of the last piece in that creation, because it is, after all, fiction. So without you guys finishing that loop, it's not a full story. It's not a complete world. So it's pretty cool.
So I think it was episode 5 was the time loop episode.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, because so it's 2 parts. Because one, like, how is this filming that? Because again, you're not filming in order, so you had to be confused on that one.
Yeah.
But then 2, just like, how much fun was it to kind of, because it's basically focus on you, and then you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah, are you kidding me? It was a dream. It was when I read that episode, I was grateful, just so grateful that A, we were doing a time loop episode, and then we were doing comedy, and B, that I got to be the one driving that. It worked out really well, I think. I'm proud of that episode. I think it was a lot of fun. You don't always know whether the stuff you're doing is going to cut together and work well, and especially in
definitely
comedy.
did, though.
Yeah, it was really funny, and it was heartfelt, and it was scary. The second half of that episode, a little bit of a different tone. So I was pretty grateful to do that, for sure. Yeah.
It was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like,
Very fun to watch. It feels really odd filming it because it's not the same as when you're watching it. I mean, it's just like that day where we were doing the one where I see you in the hall and we're like, hey. Over and over again, and then doing all the different versions, because we don't do it one at a time. We have one, we have a camera set up, and then we do all of them, and then we change the camera setup, and we do them all again. So it gets very confusing because you're going back and forth between all of the slightly different scenes. But then when it's put together, it looks amazing.
Yeah, the editors did a great job.
Yeah.
It is a little challenging. It's true, because I forgot we were block shooting that. That's right. So we did, one direction. We did all 4 different versions, and then you have to flip around and go, oh, what did I do?
It's not like it's a totally different scene. It's just enough changes to really confuse you.
Yeah,
But,
thank
it
God for
works.
script.
Yes.
Yeah. Continuity folks are like, no, you put your on. Yeah, it was a challenge. But again, a lot of it's just trust your script as an actor, and so it's all there. All the subtle changes were actually written into the script. It's just how you actually did them that was a little challenge.
So I have to ask about a character that's not here, Android. Android and 5 is probably my favorite relationship on the show. And do we have anything cool coming up in that relationship? Because Android's been on a crazy adventure since she got the human upgrade.
Yeah. Well, we may, yes. I don't want to give spoilers for the rest of the season, but there are some very cool things coming up. And yeah, I agree with you. I love the relationship between 5 and Android. I love the Android in general, and Zoe, who plays her, obviously, she's hilarious, and those are some of my favorite scenes between Zoe and I. She's just so adorable, because it's like, 5 is the younger one of the group, and then Zoe, the android, she doesn't always understand like sarcasm things. I feel like they relate to each other that way, because like they both have that innocence. And yeah, I love them together.
So do I, by the way. You're not alone. It's one of my favorite relationships in the show. Almost your relationship with almost any other character on the show is among my most favorite relationships in the show.
Oh, thanks.